I don't know if anybody knows what these are. We've got a gasket set to fit the engine. Oh yeah, it's cold tonight. Very, very cold. And we've got basically the flywheel that got given to me had it looks like it's been mullered a bit. Let me find it. And it's hard to see, but you know, it's been not been on and off with the proper tool. And one of these was literally, it broke off in my hand. It's got a few bits of swarf inside it, and what it was decided was the one that was originally on this engine prior to it being rebuilt was a good flywheel, with the exception of the centre boss, which was broken. Don't need that. So that's what I'm going to be using. The centre boss had actually exploded. I don't know what I've done with it at the moment. If I can find it before the end of the video. I know where it is, sorry. It's in his box of goodies. I don't know if you can see that. Hopefully you can. It's split. So what it's doing when it's tight, it's just spinning around, not giving you any timing, etc. But luckily enough, you can buy these. A few people sell them now. I don't know why, but it looks like my battery's going to die on there, even though it was fully charged. So I'm going to pop off, change the battery in the camera. Right, so I've changed the battery, and what we need is, or what I'm going to have to do is tap out these holes for M6. I was advised to, if you put the rivets back in again, you need a special tool because it has to be in one go. You can't rivet up one at a time. So the other way of doing it is with nuts, stainless steel nuts and washers, and basically you're bolting this in. It comes from that way inside. And I did mark it last night where the Woodruff key goes on there before I took the other one out. But all we got to do is pull the stator out, and what I'm going to have to do now is tap these holes. I won't film that because that again is, you know, it's just boring people for the sake of it, but it's an M6x1 tap which will match these stainless steel. Just try and get one out. It's hard when everything's so cold, but they go from that way through. See, they don't fit at the moment because there's no thread cut into them, and you've got a washer which is there, and a nut. And yeah, and you just basically do all of them one at a time. So I'll cut away while I do that because it's just going to be boring for people to watch. Or is the thing what you do one at a time? I don't really know. You know, show you get an M6. I think that's a 5 anyway. I should take it out and have a look. That is an M6. So what we can do is just see if it will go through the nut. Yeah. So what I'm going to have to do is do one of these at a time, and I'll cut back in. Just want to show people how it's not tough steel. That is so easy to tap a thread into. I'm actually really surprised with that, but I've got to try and keep all the magnets clean and the swarf away, so I've got to do it that way. Right, that took me about, without exaggeration, probably about 10 minutes to do. I've got a few little bits of swarf to get off, but that gives you the idea. They're all threaded now with M6. So what we need to do, I'm just going to use this boss. And if we look on, you've got a threaded side. Obviously the threaded side, or maybe not obviously, has to go to the outside world. So that would go in that way, like so. I'm just going to clean out the holes on that. Where's my screwdriver gone? There. A little bit dirty, the holes. Because basically I don't want no swarf getting in. Looks like it's left over from manufacturer, but such is life. But that goes on that way. Yeah. And you tighten it down with a bolt. So if you can think the thread side outside for the extractor, and as you know, let's give that a wipe again. As you know, I've marked there where the woodruff key alignment goes. That's to cut out in the boss, so that has to go round that way, like so. You probably can't see that, but them holes line up perfectly. So what we've got to do now is get our Allen bolts through, one by one. Perfect. And just screw them in. One by one I'll turn out these, because again, it's a nightmare trying to get one screw out at a time. And that shows you not watching what I'm doing. I've put it back to front, so that side goes through that way. So I need to find the woodruff key part again and line it up with my mark, which is here where my finger is touching. So somewhere there. I think I'm wrong at the moment. Yeah, I am. I'll turn that around where it lines up with the holes there. I don't know if you can see, but the woodruff key is there and my mark is there, so that's perfectly lined up. So I'll start again and stop waffling and do it round the right way. And what I'm going to do, you don't strictly need to do this, but I'm just going to put a bit of thread lock on these screws. I'm just going to get 3 of them started, and then I'll get some thread lock. And at the moment I don't know what I've done with my Allen key set, but I'll get some thread lock. I've got some new thread lock. And my old ones run out. Why does everything fall to the floor when you're cold? It is what it is. So I've got some new thread lock. I'll just break off the end. Oh, perfect. And what I'm going to do is just put a dab on each. I don't know if that's actually broken down there yet. Yeah, it is. I'll just put a dab on each one. There you go. That won't stand up. Right, just a dab in there and put one in at a time. Just stop it from coming out. I don't know if I've got a small Allen that will fit that. I think that's too big. Nope, that's fine. So I've got some Allen, proper Allen ones. So what I can do is just stick that socket part on. I'm not tightening them fully yet. I'm just ratcheting it. I'm on home. It's a 3/8, so I need to get my 3/8 socket out. Although I can do them up tight, hand tight first of all. There's a lot of thread to go in, but once we've got one pinched up, we can then do the rest of them one by one. So that's now coming down to the thread lock. Bit by bit. Be quicker with a ratchet, I suppose. Let me get a ratchet out. It's just going to be quicker to ratchet that on. Right, so that's just nipped up, it's not tight, and I'll get another one of these and so forth. So we've got all 8 done. I'll just put a little dab again. Here it comes. You don't need tons and tons of this. That'll do. So just a little bit, and just put it around the thread. And I'll stick one in there. So I'll cut away again because that's just going to bore people, but I'll give you the idea. That's decided to fall out. Brilliant. Did have a ball bearing in it once. I'll just start it off with my hand, then use the ratchet. So I'll cut away, do all of these, and I'll cut back in again. Right, so I've got all these in this side, and they are tight plus about a quarter. So you've got your nuts out, and if you look at my, hopefully you can still see that if I show you with a screwdriver, there's the woodruff key entrance, and there is where I marked it, so we should be bang on time there. It's all going to need a clean out anyway, because being magnetic, every little bit of spoof just gets attracted to it. I'm going to hoover up and clean up. So all we've got to do now is put our washers on. It should line up if they're all in line. I don't know if you're supposed to put that on first, but again, you I don't know what it is with this sort of kit, but let's see what the old one's like. That was the one that came off of it, and they're smaller holes, so I don't know if these holes need opening out, because if you think of it, they should only be for the 5mm rivets, where we've got M6 bolts now. So I'll get an M6 drill bit, just drill through these, and then I'll cut back. I'll just put it on pause for a sec. I'm not turning the camera off. Right, so the washer's on, nice and tight. I've just done it just over 6mm, so it slides on. And then we just need our washers on. And then what we're going to do is tighten these nuts diagonally, crucifix fashion, cross, cross, cross. I'm just looking for the other 2 of them. There's the other one. Right, just going to put the nuts on. These are nylock, so they shouldn't vibrate loose. I mean, it's probably stronger than the rivets, to be honest. They are stainless steel nuts. Good old stainless. Two more. 1, 2. I don't know what I've really done with the last one. That's there somewhere. There. The old washer. The old washer's only got 5mm. You can see where the rivets have been pushed down on it. What I was advised, basically, if you buy the rivets, you need a special press. You have to do them all in one go. You can't do 1, 2, you know, like you would with bolts. So just be warned with that. Like so. So if I take that away, you get the idea of what I'm talking about. So doing them in a crisscross pattern. The cylinder and the piston, clean up the piston, polish it. I'm going to be doing the timing before I put the cylinder head on. But like I say, I bought some gaskets today so we can shim it all up properly. I'll use them. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to, because of the seizures you had before, I'm going to put a couple of pinholes in the bottom of the piston just to let some oil through, and I might even do 2 on the top. Some people swear by it, other people say it's a waste of time, but you know, looking at that other piston, if I can find it quickly, the add-on there, you know, it's seized on the bottom and it's also seized there and there on the top. So you know, I mean, it's a while since I've seen a seizure that bad, but if you're going to do it properly. As again, thanks for watching everybody, take care, bye for now.